So now that our installation is done, let us proceed. So the next thing we do now, once you get this dialog box that tells you that installation is done, you click on finish. Then once you click on finish, you can now search for your pgadmin. It should already be installed. So all I did now is just click my Windows key and then I typed the pgadmin. So now it brings out the pgadmin software. So I can select and launch it. So the pgadmin software is based online. So that means it's going to launch. When it launches, it's going to open on your web browser. So in this case, I use Chrome. That means it's going to open on my Chrome web browser. So we have to give it a while to load because this is the first time. Okay, so it seems it's done loading now. Now there are a couple of other steps that we would have to take note of here. They are very important, but aside those, that is basically it. So now we get to the password, right? We have to enter our password before we can proceed. So you remember your password that you used, that you entered during the installation process. Just enter that password here now. So I quickly enter my password and then I click OK. So once that is done, you can then come down to here to the side panel and then click on the arrow right behind the servers to drop down the list of servers that you have. So you can also decide to save your password, easy for remembering. I would choose not to do that. Okay, so now you get so in my case I'm getting PostgreSQL 11 and PostgreSQL 12. You may be getting, I don't know, any other number in front, but it's basically PostgreSQL. You're getting these two subsection of the servers, right? So these are the two servers that you'll be getting. The number at the back may be different, right? But there's no need for panic if the number at the back of your server is different. So in my case, it's 11 and 12. So I'm going to proceed to my 12. I mean, I can use any one, but I just want to use 12. So when you click down on the arrow behind your server, you're going to get a drop down of everything that is in the server. So here we can see we have the three subcategories here are database, your login group and rows, and table spaces. So our concern for now will be on the database. So when we click on our database, then we can see the name, all the names of databases available. Right now, you only have one database available, and the name is Postgres. So that's a default name for the default database that is available. All right. So this is the basic environment. I'm sure you by now you probably are already familiar with this by if you have seen the first lesson. So this is the basic environment. Now we are going to proceed to installing our database. Okay, so we want to upload our database to our PostgreSQL. So now we are going to proceed to doing this. So before we go ahead, the first thing I would like us to note is that we have downloaded our DVD rental database. Okay, so you download your DVD rental database, and if you check the properties of this document, you'll find that it is a zip file, right? It is a zip document. So that is fine. We'll need to unzip this document, okay? So depending on which software you're using for your unzip, some of you may be using is this WinZip or Unzipper? So mine is WinRAR, right? So you can unzip with whichever software you have. So I am just going to unzip this and put it in a new folder. Okay, so you should do the same as well. So in this new folder, if I open this new folder, I'm going to get another document. Now, if I check the properties of this new document, I'm going to see that the extension file, right, the extension has changed from .zip to .tar. So this is the format of the file that we'll be uploading to our Postgres, to our PG admin. Okay, this is .tar. Okay, so let's switch back to our PG admin. All right, so what we want to do here now, the first step we want to take in order to upload our database is to, first of all, create a database. All right, so after we create the database, then we'll now upload the TAR document into that database. So it's going to populate that database with all the information and data sets that are inside that DVD rental database that we downloaded. Okay, so in order to create our database, you can see right now there's only one database here. So in order to create our database, you can click on this database here or go to object, then click create. Then when you hover over the create, you're going to see database. So click on database. So it tells you wait, and after waiting, you can now see this dialog box. So in this box, you provide a name for your database. In this case, I'm going to call my database DVD rental. Okay, so I'm going to advise that you do the same as well. So after you've done this, you don't need to bother yourself about the rest of these tabs over here. Then you click on save. So once you click on save, it's going to create a database for you, and in case you don't see your database created immediately, you can do the refresh. So in order to refresh, you can click on object and refresh, or you can right click on this database tab here and click refresh. So once that is done, now I want you to click on the database that we just created, which is the DVD rental. Okay, so you can take back the drop down. So once you click on this, right click on it. Then after you right click, I want you to scroll down to restore. Okay, so once you are in the restore, you are going to see a dialog box. Now this dialog box is going to have two tabs: restore options and general. You don't need to worry about the restore options, just stay on the general. Okay, and here you're going to get four options here. You see format, file names, number of jobs. So don't bother about the last two. This file name is what you should bother about. So click on this three dots here, right? Once you click on the three dots, it will take you directly to a directory, right? So once you get to that directory, you now need to look for where you downloaded your DVD rental database. Okay, now in my case, I created a new folder, so I put it inside that new folder, so it's going to be easier for me to find, right? So now it's easy for me to navigate to my new folder. I know my new folder is in my downloads, so I'm going to look for my downloads folder here, double click, and then I'm going to look for my Utiva SQL downloads, which is where I kept my downloaded file right here. So I double click, and then immediately I enter the new folder. The only thing I'm going to see here is my DVD rental, right? But this DVD rental is let me show you. Now what I am seeing there on my PG admin is this folder here, right? This folder here is what I am seeing, not these two. This folder here that I have just unzipped. Okay, so I'm going to go back there now. I'm going to double click on this. Then once I do, I'm supposed to see my my document here, my .tar document here. Okay, but I can't see anything. This is okay. So the next step you need to take now is check your format. In your format, you are going to see backup by default. So I want you to click on this drop down and select all files. Select all files. So once you select all files, you are now going to see your DVD rental.tar. So I want you to double click on this. Now, once you've done that, you are pretty much done. So click on restore and see what happens. Okay, so now that is done, it says successfully completed. So we can now go to our side panel. First click on refresh. Then once we click on our DVD rental database, the arrow, we are going to get a drop down. We navigate to our schemas where we'll have our tables, our columns, another thing. So this is the domain. I click on our public narrow arrow and then we drop down. Then we go straight to our tables, right? So once we click on our tables, we are now going to see all of our data sets have been populated into this new database. Okay, so before we go, let me close this. Now before we go, let us perform a very quick query just to be sure that we are getting everything that we hope for. So let me select all the columns in my actor table and see if everything is returned. So this is not necessary. I am just taking this extra step. Very good. So everything is there and now we are good to go. So you can see here that the tables are 15. There are 15 tables in total. And yeah, at this junction, you are ready to go and you are well prepared for lesson 2. So thank you for watching, and I hope that you'll be able to follow these steps, religiously, the way I've laid them out. So thank you very much and see you in lesson 2.